What's goody? Hey y'all. Welcome to my channel. Um Today we're going to be talking about y'all, my bad. We're going to be talking about manifesting, y'all. So, I got my little list. Let me pull it up. I got my little list? I'm not sure, y'all. Okay, here we go. Boom. So, today we're going to be talking about, like I said, manifesting um and things of that nature. What it is, how to start, how to begin, and all that other stuff. So, the first thing that you want to do before you start manifesting or creating your reality is you want to go on some type of spiritual journey. When I say not no, I'm not gonna say spiritual. We're gonna say a soul journey. And what this means is because your soul is your subconscious, right? Everything that you know on a soul level to be true, your subconscious knows on a subconscious level to be true. So you have to do some soul searching and really dive deep into yourself, and do what is called shadow work, which is basically asking a question about yourself, answering that question, and it's going to lead you down a whole rabbit hole of tons of questions that you also have to ask and answer yourself. Most of the time when we are asking ourselves these questions, and we're answering them, what we are doing is we're uprooting our previous beliefs and inputting new beliefs there. Your whole belief structure is based on what you know to be true based off your own lived experiences. So just for example, like if you're a person who, like, you went through it as a child and y'all was broke as fuck and y'all ain't have no food and shit, so you grew up with a mindset of, I gotta get it or I'm gonna be in that situation again. Always kind of fearing um not having enough type shit, like stuff like that. Okay. So when that happens and you're thinking like in that mindset, when you grow up, your mindset is gonna be not really this happened because this happened when I was a child. This happened because this is the way that I am, right? This is how I am. So what you're doing when you're going through and healing and doing shadow work is you're actually going through and determining why you are the way you are, if those things are beneficial to you, and then you're replacing it or evolving that mindset, or you are replacing that mindset. Um, yeah, you got to do your shadow work and really get to know yourself and your inner child, because a lot of things that happened in our childhood affected us in ways that we don't really understand even now. Um, so you really got to get in contact with your inner child and what you want. Because we think we want one thing, but you don't really want that. You know what I'm saying? So before you even manifest, when you're trying to manifest, first thing you need to do, you know what you want. Now ask yourself, why do I want this? Not how am I gonna get it? No, 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 none of that. Why do I want this? Literally, just ask yourself that simple question, and the answer might not be so simple, but you need to know the answer as to why what's your why when you're manifesting, when you're trying to get something, because you can actually have beliefs that contradict what you're trying to do, right? You can be contradicting yourself while trying to create something, and it's just not working out because your thoughts are kind of tainted and entangled, right? So the first thing to know, well, the second thing, but the first thing really, that now we're on the list, okay, is if you believe you can, then you shall. Manifestation is built off of belief. It is built off of belief system. People are like, oh, you shouldn't believe, you should just know. I think that's kind of dumb and stupid. You as a human being who creates your reality, you create everything that you believe to be true. Everything that you know to be true is true because you say it is true. Reality is relative. So as long as you believe whatever it is that you're saying, or you don't even have to believe what you're saying, but you believe the foundational principles of what you're saying and how you're saying it and whatever, then you're gonna get to being able to manifest. So if you believe you can, then you shall. Two, who do you want to become and who are you now? So The basis of everything when it comes to manifesting your dream life overall, if you're just trying to manifest one or two things, this might apply, this might fly. But when you're trying to manifest your whole dream life, what you're gonna do is you're gonna think about, who do I want to become? This is your higher self versus who am I now? This is your regular self. Then you can also do the person, who do I not want to become, or where have I been prior that I didn't like so much for me to have to move up to here, right? That's your lower self. Um, so your lower self, current self, present self, and then your higher self. So your higher self, this is not in context of like your spiritual higher self. No, this is just the higher version of you. Who do you want to become? Okay? So then you need to look at that person and start to behave like that person that you want to become. Okay? You need to behave, you need to walk like you're wanting to walk. Walk like you're wanting to walk. Talk like you're wanting to talk. That person that you want to become, you're not going to become that person by like waiting on it, to kind of integrate within yourself. You're going to have to do it yourself with manifestation. Let's say you want to be a billionaire. You need to start walking like a billionaire, talking like a billionaire, behaving like a billionaire. And that can be difficult for people who've never touched a billion a day in their life. So what you need to figure out is, how do billionaires walk? How do billionaires talk? What do billionaires do? Become a billionaire. And that is in becoming a billionaire without the actual material money, right? Or the material status. When you behave when you behave and start to act like a billionaire, then guess what? People are going to start seeing you as a wealthy person. You're doing things that wealthy people do. People are going to assume that you are wealthy. What is that? Law of assumption. Okay, y'all, stay with me now, because this is my favorite part of manifestation ever. Okay, law of assumption. These people are assuming that you are already what you want to be. So technically, you already are a billionaire. You already are rich. You already are wealthy, because people are perceiving you as such. And in order to be a billionaire, in order to have that status, it is all a big part of people perceiving you as a person with status, as a billionaire, right? You want to be an influencer. Okay, you need to start influencing. Okay, people need to see you as an influencer. When people start to see you like that and people's perception of you starts to shift, that's how you know that you are doing something right. And when people start to actually say, oh, she's rich or da 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 da, she looks wealthy, they're affirming that belief, right? They are reaffirming it and reaffirming it. Even the people trying to hate and shit, they're not doing nothing but affirming your belief, right? And that constant affirmation is going to be sent out into the universe. Because it's like people also, they kind of really, and I'm going to talk about this also, people really denote their own power, because what they don't realize is, even you hating on somebody, that's affirming that belief. That's helping them. People really be working overtime. That's why a lot of the times when people be hating on you and all this other stuff, don't even worry about it, because what are they doing? They're affirming your belief of you being who you already think you are. Because if you got haters, you're doing something right. So it's just they working overtime, you living rent free in these people's heads, and they're manifesting your dream life for you, and they don't even much know it. Okay? Boom. Number 3, get in touch with all versions of yourself, which is what I was talking about. Combat limits and beliefs, contradicting beliefs. Ask yourself, what's stopping you from getting there? Why aren't you where you want to be right now? So a lot of people with manifestation, I know that I'm going to talk about this later too. They be sitting around talking about, it was supposed to happen for me a year ago. It was supposed to happen for me a week ago. It was supposed to happen for me 2 years ago. Well, I wouldn't say a week ago. More like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I've been manifesting for 2. No, the fuck you have not. Stop lying to me right now. Stop lying to me right now. Okay? Let me tell you something. Okay? When you're not getting what you want, your manifestation isn't materializing, it is something wrong with you. Now, this is in just the context of you just existing, right? There's something wrong with you. Blockages that exist internally will reflect externally. So whatever blockage that you have inside of you, that's why you need to ask yourself questions. Why? What's wrong with me that I can't get to X, Y, and Z place and position? What am I not doing right? Or more so, what belief do I have? Am I holding on to? What mindset or system am I holding on to that is impacting me negatively? Right? Right. Okay. So get specific. Now, this is how you're going to get to where you want to be after you've asked yourself, why am I not there? When you get that answer, the next step is to get specific, make steps, and make a plan on what you're going to do to get there. No, you don't have to do everything, but you gotta do something. Okay. Now, this is a big part. What people have to realize also with manifestation. Manifestation is co-creation. You're not necessarily like, it's not necessarily God is granting you something. It's more like you're working in tandem with the universe and the forces of the divine to bring what you want into fruition. So how do you do this? Okay, it's very much quite simple. When I say get specific, like let's say you want some money or you just want to buy something, you need to write down what you're gonna buy. Write down what you want. Write it down. Write exactly what it is down. This is not only just helping you get clearer, it is also helping your subconscious get clearer. Your higher self get clearer, right, on what the fuck you want. Because your subconscious is creating your reality majority of the time. Like I'm always saying majority, y'all, but your subconscious is creating your reality majority of the time because you're not actually really in control. Okay, everything that you do is based off of memories and experiences, right? Everything that you believe is based off memories and experiences. Those memories and experiences are here in your subconscious. They are held in your subconscious and interpreted in your subconscious. So the belief that the subconscious spits out from that, right, it is what is ruling you in your life. Because it's also what you have to remember. Reality, you make up your reality based on your own rules. Okay, you create your own rules when it comes to manifestation. Your own rules of what you cannot do. Your own limits. You are the only person that limits yourself. And those limits, most of the time, reside in the subconscious. Okay? So it's like you really got to tell yourself what you want. That is why people do things like robotic affirmations, because you have to actually get it into your own head. Like, bitch, I am doing this. Bitch, it is done. Like, yada, yada. Like, you have to really make yourself believe that. Your subconscious has to really, really, really believe that. And that's why it's really good to just stand in the mirror, say what you want, and, all this other stuff, affirmations and shit. But I don't really be doing affirmations in that way. It's not for me personally, but if it's for you, it's for you. Yeah, and then with co-creation, we have to also remember that we have to do something too. So this is where it comes down on to you, because yeah, you got to have the faith, but you also got to do the work. Okay, that's one of the one things that Christians really did get right: faith and works. You have to have the faith and you have to do the work. Okay, believe it and then put your best foot forward to get it. Okay, and that's the thing. Just put your best foot forward. Just do your best. When you do your best, that's literally showing, okay, boom, I really want this, or boom, like I really did my best and I really, put my all and yada, yada, yada into this, and I deserve to get what I want. So this comes to the next topic, which is inspired action. So majority of the time when you sit down and you manifest, you're going to get an idea, you're going to get an epiphany, you're going to get, you could even get antsy, restless, whatever. Some people call these downloads, these ideas, these new pathways that's being found, right? To help you towards your manifestation. Now, I know personally that my downloads and my physical health comes in many different forms and many different ways. But when it comes to inspired action, it's nothing but taking those ideas. It can be even like something like just totally different from what you just manifested, but you don't know how it's going to impact you. So take that idea, run with that idea, do that idea, follow the steps, follow the breadcrumbs, and it's going to lead you right to where you need to be. It can be something as simple as like post that video, and you're posting the video, you're not thinking nothing of it, and then 2 days later, like the video blows up, or somebody sees your video. Let's say, okay, put it like this. Let's say you're trying to manifest 10 G's, you're trying to manifest $10,000, okay? And you get this idea, you're like, oh shoot, let me post on TikTok. So you post on TikTok. And people, somebody on the For You page, scrolling on your For You page, they see your video on the TikTok, and they're like, oh my gosh, I fuck with this person, I want to give this person $10,000. Like, that's that type of shit right there. The way that the people, I don't even know what to call it, I just say the divine, but the way that people from the spirit world work is totally different from the way that we work. Our perceived reality is totally different from theirs. And you have to remember that people in the spirit realm are not just like gods and deities. They're your ancestors. They're your cousins, friends, family, animals. Like, yeah. So, yeah. Walk it like you talk it, okay? You deserve what you're asking for. So act like it, okay? Act like you are who you say you are. Be who you say you are, okay? When you begin to walk in that, you are now just walking in. Like, don't be fake. Don't be a fake ass bitch. Like, don't be unreal. Be real. Be authentic. But also, fake it till you make it. Like, be who you want to be while not needing to change nothing. Just be who you want to be. And everything else is going to align to fit that and come in tandem with that, right? So now this is where we talk about something that's very important for me, is waiting versus patience, okay? Patience is key. Waiting doesn't exist. When you wait, you long. And when you're longing, you're yearning, okay? That won't help you to manifest. Patience comes with detachment. In your patience, you should be working and getting ready like it's already here. Live your life, making the right steps, following a path. This is also a time collapser. So when you are being patient, patient is being active in your waiting, but you're not really even waiting. You're acting like it's already here. How are you doing that? By ignoring it, okay? You plant the seed and you leave that shit alone. And by the time you get back up to go look at that shit, that bean sprout would have sprouted. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just got to be patient. So, I mean, personally, I know that can be something that we struggle with, being patient, because I'm an impatient little fuck too. But you got to be patient. And if you're going to be impatient, that impatience cannot come from a point of fear. That's really the problem with a lot of people, is they will sit around and wait. And when it doesn't show up, they're like, it's not coming. Well, it's not going to come because you're waiting on it. You're not going to see it because you're waiting on it. You don't know what kind of steps, like, y'all, and I'm saying this, but I have to get it together too, okay? But yeah, patience does come with detachment, and that does come with time. So as it pertains to detachment is just like not being emotionally invested in it, knowing you're good with and without, but you would rather it be with, right? Like I said, working and getting ready like it's already here. Like I was talking about, making a list of things that you're gonna buy with your money, adding things to the cart. Like if you want to move and you're manifesting a move, you're packing shit, you're cleaning up, you're making sure that everything is good, like you're giving shit away, like you're making space or whatever. Like, this is what you're going to do. Focus on what you can do in the present, in the now, to bring in your manifestation. Don't be looking so out towards the future that it leaves that waiting vibe, okay? So time collapsing is like looking up and boom, what you wanted has dropped in your lap. But in reality, it's been weeks. You've just not focused on it. So some people will say be tunnel vision on your manifestations. I don't suggest that if you're a person like me who's a really bad overthinker, and fear and doubt can really start to seep in after a while. So after a while of me thinking about it, it goes from, okay, I'm confident, to all of these different holes that I can poke in it and everything else. And that allows for a lot of doubt to come in, and in the end, it can just make things a little bit worse for me at the end. So what you want to do is distract yourself, but healthy distractions, okay? Like smoke a little weed, do a little yoga, I don't know, go on a run, walk, journal, do things to fill your day. Just keep going about, things in the same way that you were before, but you're going to have to make some type of shifts in that you're walking it like you're talking it, and you're acting like you already received whatever it is that you're manifesting. Excuse me. Manifestation methods is the next topic. Okay, so my ancestors did not know how to read, write, none of that, but they spoke and they found power in prayer. Okay, so I verbally manifest the gift of God. Um, so whenever I'm like really wanting something, I just speak it out. Like you could say prayer, praying and all the other stuff, but it's more like it's a little bit more than just the prayer. You know what I'm saying? So when you're manifesting by, verbally, you're speaking it into existence. And speaking something into existence is just speaking with enough conviction and saying, hey, like, this is something that I want. So you could just be like, hey, I want this. But it could even be as simple as, dang, like, I really want a seafood boil tomorrow. And then, boom, you get a seafood boil. So, yeah. But besides that, I have tried other methods. I've done subliminals, 369 method, fire, flame work, water, like submerging it in water, letters, scripting. I like scripting, incense or candle work, etc. The way you manifest is going to be specific to you, which is why it's very important through this whole process that you really get to know and have a really good relationship with yourself. Because if you don't have a good relationship with yourself and you're trying to manifest, it's going to go awry, which is why I do recommend also getting into like astrology. Vedic or Western astrology is good. Just something that can tell you a little bit more about yourself. That way you can really know where to go from manifestation and all the other stuff. So, yeah, everyone is different. Your process and path is unique to you. This is why it's like I said, in order to manifest, you need to be connected to yourself, your personal power, your ancestral power, etc. The ultimate scam of New Age right now to me is that there is a one way What the fuck? Okay, y'all, I'm hungry. I'm sorry, but there is one way or one size that fits all, because there's really not. There's many ways to manifest. People have been manifesting since the beginning of time. It's not nothing new. It's not nothing hard. It's not nothing like, oh, you shouldn't do it or that. Like, no, babe, no. Everybody has the power to create and shift their reality. Literally, everybody has the power to do that. Everyone has the power to, the power of belief. Everybody gives power to that which they believe. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to sit around and do 369. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do that. You don't have to even do no spells. You don't have to do none of that shit. You don't at all. Okay? People be like, a high vibe, a low vibe. You don't have to have no type of high vibe or low vibe to fucking manifest. You just want it. Like, literally, that's like why a lot of, I feel like a lot of people, especially these new age spiritualists, limit themselves. They have their own limits and beliefs, but do not let them become yours, okay? Remember that people believe whatever the fuck they want to believe, but you don't have to believe that shit. You don't have to subscribe to that shit. And what you believe becomes what you are. Not ordained, but like, it becomes what you are controlled by. You are controlled by your beliefs. It's just that simple. So, just watch out for a lot of people who be teaching, people trying to be teaching people manifestation and all this other stuff, but they don't be giving good ideas. They just don't be good teachers. And a lot of these people can't manifest and save their life. And that's just the truth. I'm not gonna lie. It's just the truth. Like, and a lot of these new age spiritualists are also very, very much like grifters too, which we're not even gonna get into that. But like I said, there's a multitude of ways to do it across thousands of different cultures when it comes to manifestation. Manifestation, prayer, giving a sacrifice, all of that shit. That shit is you, babe. Yeah, that's you. Okay? Getting on your knees and praying to God and God hearing you is you manifesting something into reality, right? So just have to remember that. Remember that you hold power. That's going to be the number one thing when it comes to manifestation, is knowing that you are powerful and walking in that power. It's going to be really important. When your manifestation journey begins, you're going to be so shocked, so fucking shook by all of the things that you actually can bring into reality. And if you are like blocked in one specific area, then you need to pivot. Always pivot. Me personally, I have a very hard time like manifesting money, like actual money, like paper money. I have a really hard time like manifesting it out of thin air. And what I mean by this is it always has to come from somewhere. From somewhere, somebody, some opportunities. So it's just like you have to know yourself enough to know, okay, maybe if I can't manifest money, if I can't manifest money and I know why I can't, or I know why I'm not able to, whatever, out of thin air, then what is my next step and how else can I manifest money? What else can I manifest? It's like just that simple. So yeah, that was it. I'm finna go get my pizza out the oven. That bitch probably burnt as fuck, but I'm finna go eat it. So, bye.